There seems to be an awful lot of conversation about marketing these days. Can we do better marketing? More marketing? Who's doing the marketing? Hey, we need to do a better job of marketing. Even some data around marketing. Reach, clicks, opens, views, distribution. But what I want to talk about is the influence of our marketing. And when we talk about how much influence our marketing has, there's two dimensions to the influence of marketing. The first one is the influence that most people think about all the time. The breadth of your influence. The breadth of influence is quite simply how many contacts do we have influence over? How many people can we talk to? When you speak with a lot of salespeople, the number one dimension they always want to increase is the breadth of influence. This comes out in terms like I need more leads. You can have a database of 20,000 people, but if you're not hitting your quota, and if you're not at your sales numbers, the first lever everyone wants to pull is getting a larger breadth of influence. Get more people for me to talk to. But what we really need to think about sometimes is the depth of your influence. For the people over whom you do have influence, what's their temperature to your message? Are they ready to talk? And how can your marketing deepen your level of influence over those people? I always like to start conversations about marketing by asking a simple question. Do you need more at-bats, more opportunities to pitch with the people that you already know? Or do you need to know more people? Do you need your database to be bigger? Or do you just need more conversations with the people that you already have in your Rolodex? Those are some diagnostic questions that can help you start thinking about where to focus your energies when it comes to the influence of your marketing. When we're talking about contacts, we start to think of the world in three simple buckets. The first one is the world of strangers. These are the people that don't know us and we don't know them. Then there's our contacts. Contacts are people that, to whatever degree, we know something about them, and they, whether they remember it or not, have known something about us. These are people that have given us their contact information and we've obtained it in some way and we've made communication with them. They're not purchased leads. It's not the reach or the distribution level of a publication that you're advertising in. These are the folks that are in your database. And lastly, there are the people that are actively in a buying process. These are prospects. It's your sales funnel. When you start thinking in terms of these three buckets, the one thing that you can't forget is that there is a process to move people. When we're talking about getting strangers to become contacts, I like to refer to that as a conversion. We're trying to convert strangers into contacts. People sometimes call it lead conversion. We want the stranger who's on our website, who we know nothing about them but an IP address at this moment. We need them to give us their contact information. That happens in one simple way. Conversion is a transaction. It's a sale. It is a sale of a non-monetary value, meaning I will sell you some piece of data, something informational, something useful, freebies, giveaways, white papers, webcasts. The ticket price, if you will, what you will pay me is your contact information. That's the stock and trade. That's the currency of converting strangers into contacts. Fill out this form. Give me your name and your email address. Perhaps I want a little bit more data too. And the inflation rate on this transaction is through the roof. Because 10 years ago, I could throw up a subscribe to my newsletter form and I was getting email addresses day in and day out. Today, we have to be offering more and more value in order to get the currency of contact information. But the next arrow is just as important. I know a lot of companies that market to their database, to their contacts, and forget that they need to focus on a mechanism to help those contacts emerge as prospects. And that looks something simple as clicking on links, replying to an email, asking for more information. These are subtle, low commitment ways that your contacts can raise their hand out of the crowd, out of the hundreds or thousands of contacts that fill your database. Raise their hand and say, hey, I'm willing to start that conversation now. Hey, I just may be at a point in my life where it's time for me to think about the solutions that you offer. It's very important to focus on these two arrows. No piece of marketing communication should ever go out without the conversation having taken place behind the scenes. Does this help convert strangers to contacts? And or does this help our contacts emerge, raise their hand and say, I'm ready to be a prospect. I'm ready to start that buying conversation. If the mechanisms are not in place in the communication, it should not be sent. Coke, Pepsi can worry all day long about just brand impressions and getting everyone to know their name. You need to worry about getting people to take action, converting from strangers to contacts, or emerging as a contact who's ready to be a prospect. So the next time you have a conversation about marketing, stop and think. Do we need to increase the breadth of our influence? Are we trying to increase the depth of our influence? And if so, how will we get people to cross these arrows?